For a long time, I didn't just believe in faith. I felt like I had to demonstrate it. But what I've come to understand is my faith has cost me something. More than I expected. And the interesting part is, I don't look like what I've been through. But the cost is real. And because the cost is real, the value is too. I grew up in church. So faith was real to me from a very young age. I knew scripture. I was involved, singing in choir, playing instruments. I was speaking. And if I'm honest, I thought I understood it. There was a sense that God had a calling on my life and I was set apart. And I believed that. But there was also some rigidity to it, if I'm honest. A quiet assumption that as long as I stayed aligned, nothing would really touch me. And I didn't see it at the time, but a lot of my faith was tied to being right, doing the right things, avoiding wrong ones, being seen a certain way. Not fake, but structured in a way that says, I'm good. Then there was a moment in my life where that framework just didn't hold. I made a decision I couldn't explain away. And for the first time, I couldn't rely on what I knew or how I had lived up to this point. There were consequences, real ones. And I remember sitting in that moment thinking, God, I don't understand. I asked for forgiveness. I thought that settled it. Like, we're good. But what I came into was something deeper. I realized that forgiveness is real, and so are consequences. And for the first time, my faith wasn't something I could manage. It wasn't something I could perform back into alignment. It became personal in a different way. Because I had to face the reality that I had fallen short. Not in theory, not in language, but in truth. And there was a moment where I had to confront something quietly. That if God had a reason to walk away, this would have been it. I would have had nothing to say. But he didn't. And that changed everything. Because now, faith isn't something I'm maintaining. Faith is something I'm standing in, fully aware of my need for it. Grace isn't casual anymore. It has weight. So now, I don't move to prove that I have faith. I move from a place where I already know I'm being held in it, even when it costs me something. And it does cost. But not in the same way, but in a way that is more intentional, more honest, more aligned. I've had moments, even recently, where doing what I believed was right didn't produce the outcomes I would have chosen. But I stayed. I remained. And when I walked away with my integrity intact. Not because it worked out, but because I was aligned. So, let me ask you something. Are there areas in your life where your faith looks like something you have to maintain instead of something you can rest in? Where you feel like if you don't get it right, something will fall apart? See, performance says, if I do it right, I'll be okay. Faith says, even if it doesn't go the way I expect, I'm still grounded. So, if you've ever felt like you had to prove your faith through consistency, through performance, through getting it right, I want to offer this to you. Faith doesn't need to be proven. It's not sustained by performance. It's revealed when there's nothing left to perform. I'm reminded of Peter on the boat when Jesus said to cast his net to the other side, confounding all logic from an expert fisherman who was out all night long. But seeing the amount of fish, looked at this man, Jesus, and recognized there's a difference between me and you. A gap I cannot provide for. His response was, get away from me. I, I'm a sinner. I don't have it. It's not in me. And Christ's response, ever so gracious, not ignoring reality, acknowledged the forthcoming truth. You, Peter, will become a fisher of men as you follow me. Even in that moment, Peter didn't perform his way into that outcome. He responded. He trusted, even when it didn't make sense. And what came of that wasn't the result of perfection. It was the result of alignment. And I think that's the shift. Faith isn't about getting it right every time. It's about remaining, even when you don't fully understand what's happening. Because when you remove performance, what's left is trust. And trust is enough. Still waters, steady hands. This is Gregory Michael, and this is the Quiet Maverick. Thank you for your time with me today. I don't take your attention lightly, because where you place your attention is where your life begins to move. If this episode resonated with you, sit with it. Don't rush past it. And share it with someone who may need to hear it. This is how we keep the signal going. You can also follow me on all platforms at Gregory Michael. And until next time, remember, faith doesn't have to be performed. Just remain.